and just work, he wouldn't have been half bad.
Yeah, but
he can't help himself.
He can't help himself. He's still a reality TV show star.
Yep.
He makes official government pronouncements on Twitter.
Yep.
Judicial appointments on Twitter.
Yep.
I mean, really?
Well,
it's a different world.
Unfortunately, it may be the world of the future.
Well,
we can hope not.
There's always Mexico. Real cheap down there, Bruce.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. All right, what time do we have, Robert? It's 6:32.
Yep, we are ready when you are.
All right, let me get my little script out here. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Laconia Capital Improvements Plan Committee meeting. It's a subcommittee of the Planning Board. Due to the COVID-19 coronavirus crisis and in accordance with Governor Sununu's Emergency Order 12, pursuant to Executive Order such and such, this board is authorized to meet electronically. Please note, there's no physical location to observe and listen to the meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, we are confirming now that we are providing public access to this meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or electronic means. We are utilizing the Zoom platform for this meeting, where all members of the board will have the ability to communicate and the public will have access to watch the live YouTube video at the City of Laconia's YouTube site. And it's Laconia NH, all one word, on YouTube. Listen to this meeting through dialing the following phone numbers: 1-312-626-6799 or 1-646-558-8656, or participate with the Zoom app, which you can do through your browser, or you can download the mobile app if you wish to use your mobile phone. The webinar ID, if you do that, is 828-7789-5720. That's 828-7789-5720. And the webinar password is 941215. Now, those numbers might not be right. Hang on a second. Yes, I guess it is right by sheer coincidence. All right, very good. When we previously posted this meeting and gave public notice of it in accordance with the law, if anyone has a problem following along and unable to participate in any way, please call 524-3877, extension 249, or email planning@laconianh.gov. The meeting will have to be adjourned if we get notification that the public is unable to participate in the meeting. This meeting, we will not be having a public hearing, if I'm correct. Rob, do you think you can put that agenda back up on the screen for me? Because I might not find the tab. Oh, wait a minute. It should be here.
Yep, give me 1 second.
Oh, it's... See, I have all these different tabs open in here. Wait, agenda. Found it. No, that's planning board. That was last night. Did you find it?
No,
oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was still looking in mine. All right, great. So the meeting's been called to order. The time is 6:35, is it? It's one thing about Zoom, it doesn't let me go down to my taskbar and see what time it is. Okay, now I lost my agenda again.
Oh, can we put that back up?
Yeah, would you leave it up just for the old man's sake? Please. Thank you. All right, a meeting having been called to order, we need to have a roll call. Who is doing the roll call?
Karen's going to be doing the roll call.
Okay, Karen, let her rip, please.
Okay, Robert Hamill.
Here.
Bruce Cheney.
Here.
Mark Haynes? No. Michael Foote? No. Paul Dugan?
Here.
Peter Stewart?
Here.
Dean Anson? Peter Burnett?
Here.
Sarah Jenna?
Here.
And Stacy Susie.
Here.
All right. Well, then we have a quorum and everyone's present, and everyone that's going to be present, I think, is present. And if any of the others come in, Rob can admit them to the meeting. So thank you. Karen Santoro is in attendance, as well as Robert Mora, the planner, senior planner with the city of Laconia. Pardon me? Okay.
Dean Hanson just logged in as well.
Oh, good. Excellent. Welcome, Dean. Have you all had a chance to look at the minutes from the previous meeting? They were sent to you by email I think this week. And are there any objections to it or corrections that you see need to be made? All right, sensing none, then I will declare the minutes accepted. And now we're going to turn things over to Rob, because he's going to review our rankings for us.
So I sent out the ranking, the final scores to everybody. There is one minor correction on there. There was a little typo in the formula that was adding up everything. So under the enterprise, let me pull up the screen here for everybody. It was actually the signs, which was showing up at the top for replacement at the water department of a score of 190. It's actually, and it was item number WD23. It's actually only scored at 90. And then when I recommuted the 90 score in, it brought it down and it ranked it to number 24 under enterprise fund. So everything else was correct on there. And further looking at the scores, everything ranked rather typically to what it usually does each year. I don't know if anybody has any questions, concerns, or with how everything ranked. If everybody has any suggestions or they want something changed, we can definitely make that happen now.
I would say that the top 10 items are quite correct and necessary, for sure. Does anybody see anything that you think should be either moved up or down? This is our last opportunity to do that.
Because after we motion to move this forward to planning board, the planning board will have an opportunity to move things as well. I've never seen that before, but they still have that option.
Well, yeah, we do usually just accept the recommendation of the CIP. But there's no particular controversy or anything that seems to be jumping out at me on this list. And the presentations were pretty straightforward. The DPW vehicle purchases, was that, can you refresh my recollection? Was that was like 2 or 3 vehicles, wasn't it? Yeah, I think that's what that was.
I believe that was a few vehicles.
The Langley Brook Bridge, you got to do that too. The parking garage, wouldn't it be cheaper to just demolish it? Seriously.
I think there's a lot of options there. I don't know what's the right decision. There's far more experienced people in the room than I am that would make that great call.
Oh, I know. I was just taking one shot in memory of David. Well, he's more than once said on the record, he thought dynamite was the best thing that would get for that building.
I think he said it at almost every council meeting.
Yeah. Well, it is a big, awful, ugly thing, and it's right in the middle.
Yep. He was
But,
doing fine till he wanted to build a parking garage in the middle of the parking lot here.
oh, yeah, I
And then-
remember that
Then he
one.
lost a lot of support.
Right, right,
Unfortunately, Peter, we don't own the whole bottom floor, so
right.
it's pretty limited what we can do as a city.
Yeah, I know, Bob. That was partly teasing when I brought that up, but it is a problem that I wish we could address. Because I think it is a problem. I think most people would say it is.
Yeah,
But for the
I think
time being-
probably, I think probably within the next month, you're gonna see some activity on addressing that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go. There's a clue. All right. So, again, does anybody want to move anything around on Rob's list here? This is the result of all your inputs. All right, well, then sensing that there is no,
Mr. Chair,
yes, indeed, Ms. Susie.
thank you. I couldn't get my mute button to work. I just need to throw this out there that I was a little disturbed that the vehicle for the code enforcement officer or the housing inspector continues to break down and leave them stranded. And that just really bothered me. And I'm just wondering why it's not a little higher than a sign for,
Number 5.
oh, I have a totally different list.
So there's two lists. So there's the enterprise fund, and then there's the non-enterprise fund. And that one's on the non-enterprise one, and that one did show up as number 5. So that was pretty high up there.
Oh, I've got a different list. Okay.
Yeah, the enterprise funds are those items which don't necessarily have to come out of the general fund, meaning taxes. Because like the water department generates enough income to maintain itself in theory. So that's why they separate it out at this point. But yes, under general fund expenditures, it is up there. It's
Oh, I've got the right screen now. I'm
number
sorry.
5. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. This is how we learn. Everything's been trial and error.
And there's definitely a lot of data with this.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, well, number 5 works for me.
I'm excited the city might get a new plotter. I know it's 26 down there, but it's only 10K.
Yeah,
All right.
such a bargain.
Well, listen, if we're truly going to digitize our old records, we need to have the ability to print them out in blueprint size. So, because otherwise it's just way too much work for people that are trying to perhaps do an extensive renovation to a building or modify a site plan. So I think that's a good expenditure. So the question to the committee then is, would anyone care to make a motion to recommend this list to the planning board?
I'll make the
I'll make
motion.
that.
Peter
I'll make
Stewart.
the-
Okay,
Bob
we have a
Hamel, second
motion
it.
by Peter Stewart and a second by Councillor Hamel.
Yes.
Is there any discussion on this motion? Sensing none, I would ask Karen to call the roll, please.
Unmute myself here. So.
Yep.
Stacy Susie,
Yes.
Sarah Jenna,
Yes.
Peter Burnett,
Yes.
Dean Anson,
Yes.
Peter Stewart,
Yes.
Paul Dugan,
Yes.
Bruce Cheney,
Yes.
and Robert Hamill.
Yes.
Well, it's unanimous then. The motion carries. This matter will be referred to the planning board. And unless there's some other business to conduct, I think we've pretty much discharged our duties for this year. And I want to thank you all for being on this committee. We will remain impaneled, as it were, until the city council acts on it, because the council may well want to hear back from us directly. But there's no need to schedule any further meeting at this time. So if anyone would care to make a motion to adjourn, I would be happy to grant it.
So moved.
Therefore,
Second.
that's moved and seconded. Any discussion? We don't want to have to do a roll call. I'm just going to declare it adjourned. May the record reflect that the chair usurped the power of the board and declared it adjourned. Thank you all for your service. Thanks an awful lot. Thank you to Rob and Karen too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Be well.
Hey, Peter,
Yes.
I have a